Good morning. What an absolute ridiculous start to the day in terms of news. If this is your first time tuning in, what's up? My name is The Schiller. I've been covering NFTs and Web3 for a few years now and been doing these daily X feed streams where we go over your thoughts on the timeline. So, moments ago, Daniel Allegra saying, please see the news below of the announcement I just made internally to our Yuga Labs employees. I am so grateful to have had the opportunity to lead this great team and to have connected globally with so many community members. Yuga has such a bright future. So I'll read the Garga tweet in a second, and I think there's a couple things to note right off the bat with this. So when the announcement was made, I felt like I was one of the few people that talked about, hey, like he's coming from like the Blizzard side. We had the Overwatch 2 debacle that people didn't like. There was just a lot of kind of things that didn't really seem that they were going necessarily well at Blizzard. And some people, looking back are like, oh, maybe he was a scapegoat that was used within that ecosystem as things were going bad, because again, it was a very short tenure. And then so he comes into Yuga Labs, and a lot of people are like, okay, we have like a big dog here that's going to be able to steer the direction of this ship in a way that makes sense. Now, the other thing with this is, over like the past few months, it felt like certain releases and stuff haven't necessarily gone as smooth. There was the recent Twitter space that they held, or sorry, Discord town hall, where they had to address all the negativity around the Moonbirds acquisition, the Proof acquisition. And I think, that's probably something that happened prior to, but, my mind goes to, okay, like look at how mad people were about that. And, we went through the rationale for it. And I think if you haven't seen it yet, on Monday, I went through a lot of things, and it was complete justification for being mad. There's like, okay, you obviously get the treasury that's involved with it, et cetera, et cetera. But there's a reason for it. And then for the other side, they didn't have whatever happened with Improbable. I don't really know. They were supposed to have, more trips, more activations. It seemed like there was a falling out of some sort. In like a year and a half, there was two things that were like an hour long, and there wasn't a whole lot more to it. I don't know. It felt kind of weird here. But anyway, if you guys have any thoughts of this, feel free to throw in the chat, but let's read the statement from Crypto Garga. Some news to share. I am stepping back in as CEO of Yuga Labs. Wiley and I are grateful for all the contributions and operational rigor Daniel has brought to the company, and appreciate his thoughtfulness and mentorship over the past year. I'm reinvigorated to be taking the reins of our next chapter. Looking at what's ahead for Yuga, we need to execute with a more crypto native focus across the entire company. There's a couple things that are on top of mind for Wiley and I. For anybody that doesn't know, Wiley is Gordon Goner. BAYC, appreciate everyone coming out to the first board meeting this past weekend. To sum up our thinking around BAYC in the briefest possible terms, the utility of BAYC comes from the network, from everybody who is in the club. That's why ApeFest is so special. While Made by Apes has seen explosive adoption, why the clubhouse itself is so hype, and why BAYC is able to collab with some of the biggest brands in the world. So to note on that particular breakdown, I've talked with some people, and their, I guess, mantra around BYC is the club made the members, or made the community cool, right? Like being a part of it. It was all the individuals that were amongst the community, as just said, and all like the OGs are gone. I don't think that that's necessarily an entirely correct statement. I think that there is a lot of people that did help kind of shape what it was in the early days, from the social aspect, community, connecting, friendship, yada, yada, that aren't there anymore. But the big takeaway from that line in particular is, during that town hall meeting, Tropo asked, like, how the hell is BAYC at the center of this when you have so many other things? It just doesn't make sense. And then Daniel went to trying to get Jeff to answer it, and then he wasn't able to get on stage for a second, and then he said he would answer it, and then he went, and it was kind of like a weird response. And so knowing that he's stepping down, that makes sense, but it was also kind of weird that it felt like he didn't really know how to answer that. So again, I think this move's really, really good. We want to unshackle the BAYC team at Yuga as much as possible to execute against its vision. More focus, more agility, so it can do the above and create the space for the magic and crazy shit we used to get up to more often. Focus and agility requires autonomy. Step one is already done. A new company, BAYC LLC, was created as Yuga's subsidiary and will be responsible for everything BAYC. We've got a crack team of ninjas on the BAYC team, but there's still a couple important roles to be filled over there. Other side. Other side should be the living room of Web3, the default space you go to in order to play and hang with your community, no matter what community that is. So this goes to the aspect of the Nifty Island. This goes to the aspect of Sandbox, Decentraland. All these different companies and experiences are trying to create this. Obviously, it's been kind of lackluster for really true adoption across the board for any of them. Will Other Side fix that? We'll see. Other Side is also a massive swing for the fences. We've got a lot to work to do. The only way it gets built properly is if you all come in and experience it more often. We set out to build Other Side. The goal was to make it public, iterative process. I'm confident in the work our team has done to get us back to this plan, and our communication is going to ramp up this week, starting with Apes Come Home. So that's going to happen this week. We'll go check out the prices here in a momentaro. We need to follow up with a lot more frequent communication starting now and throughout the year. Gaming. We need to approach games at Yuga with a tighter focus on what works. For us, that's a barbell approach. Crazy fun play patterns that any kid at heart can enjoy. The more wildly fun and mass market, the better, like Dookie Dash. This is all about opening the funnel and flooding our ecosystem with millions of new users and leveraging that to create opportunities for creators, IP holders, and pro players. Stoked for how this is coming together with our friends at Faraway GG. Crypto native mechanics and platforms like Redacted. We're going on 3 years since Yuga was founded, and we couldn't be more excited about some of the stuff we've got in the pipeline. Extremely grateful for the team that's assembled here across all of our brands. There's a lot of work to be done, but I couldn't imagine doing it with any other team or any other community of builders. Thank you for your support. For those who will be here, I'll see you at NFT Paris. Okay, so I don't know if anybody's got extra thoughts on this. I think that obviously the move's a good move. Hold on, that's not what I wanted to go for. If we're looking at the activity for things, Mutant Ape Yacht Club, we've had 18 sales in the past 5 minutes, up to 61 in the past 15. So that means since this announcement, things have started to roll. Bored Ape Kennel Club, there's been 52 purchases. Don't really see any of the other collections on here. Bored Ape Yacht Club, there's been 15. That's actually pretty nuts. In the last little bit, we'll kind of leave this open for a second and see if anything else starts to roll in. I think this is going to save a lot of the mantra around Mr. Allegra, who was the CEO. Again, he came on the Twitter space. He did it. He had like the default PFP. I tried making a lighthearted joke about it on Twitter. A lot of people brought it up as well. And it was like, okay, like this feels kind of weird. And during that town hall, there was questions and answers, and it was very scripted. And I understand that, but you know, you've been in that position for a year, and it does feel like there is a huge disconnect between kind of the Web3-ish type of way. And I think as a whole, people are very, very good at sussing that out. If somebody's running something, they're a part of, you know, a bigger community, especially in charge of arguably the biggest collection in the entirety of the blockchain, and people are kind of questioning things. That's not a great look. That's not a great look. So I think Garga coming back into that role is going to be really good and adds to the narrative spin that we love within the space. So with that said, that's kind of a quick breakdown regarding this. I don't know if you just kind of clicked on this to tune in for that piece of news regarding the Daniel Allegra and CEO change at Yuga, but we normally go over a quick show regarding news within Web3, so I would love for you to stick around. Let's get into it. Breaking 8-year veteran of the SEC Enforcement Division that led actions against Coinbase and was a member of the team engaged in fight with Ripple declares that crypto is here to stay, and they leave the SEC and joins U.S. law firm that advised Fidelity and the BTC. I think they meant ETF, but they said ETP. So listen, we got people that are switching sides here saying crypto is here to stay. That's kind of bullish. Now, what's not necessarily bullish is Bill Noble highlighting the Chinese financial system. He's got a great stream, definitely worth checking him out on the daily. In a move of complete desperation, China's government bans institutional investors from selling in the first and last 30 minutes of the day when over 80% of shares trade hands. That's crazy. So things are looking very interesting in China. And then he was highlighting this yesterday. Foreign direct investment into China declined 33 billion. last year, the lowest amount in more than 30 years, and 82% lower than 2022. Oh my goodness. It is over. Yo, Mr. Bill Green, how are you? Hope you are having a good morning. And Mr. McLovin, sheesh, he stepped down. We are going to effing zero. To be honest, I think this isn't a bad move. I think that there was a lot of questions around when he first came in. And so this clears up a lot of things. And over the last few months, things haven't necessarily rolled out in a way that people felt reassured of being a part of things within Yuga. So, I mean, what do you change other than saying, hey, we're gonna improve? You just remove the people that were in the leadership role, I guess. Walmart has 1.2 million followers. Their average post gets 10,000 views. However, when they posted about Pudgy Penguins, they got 300,000 views within hours. I think the biggest understatement that people don't understand, if you're outside of the Web3 space, is the amount of traction and attention that people within Web3 are able to give to something. Now, obviously, there's a lot of people within the Pudgy Penguin community. And there's a lot of people that aren't even within it that are still commenting on these things, highlighting it, you know, gooder for the whole Web3 crowd out there. But that's actually kind of crazy, to be totally honest. Like 300,000 plus views, I'm assuming, because this was, well, what was this, like yesterday? Or no, it was today at 2 a.m. So the post is probably way up there, but I guess it looks like Pudgies are getting round 2 of toys in 3,100 stores across America. So again, the social presence is kind of crazy. Backpack Exchange is going live in 11 U.S. states. This I don't know about, but I saw it on my timeline. There was a fair amount of engagement with it. 112,000 followers. Next level crypto wallet and exchange. I mean, anytime these things get more brought up, highlighted, this is great. I think just more potential adoption, opportunities, preventing from monopolies of exchanges taking over the entire market. Like Binance has like over 50% of the entire market share. Joke, what up, Schiller? Always a pleasure, bravo. True, Brewy. Truey. Do you play old school RuneScape? Does anybody play old school RuneScape? I've been playing that lately. It's pretty banging. Damn, I forgot a part of this. I forgot this part of the bull run. $156 for gas. So the reason why I'm highlighting this aspect is we're going to have the conversation. I tried bringing it up the other day with the stream title, "The NFT Apocalypse is Imminent," because everything that's NFT related is going to get mucked for a potential short period of time, right? Where when crypto runs, right, it's going to bring up the gas fees, and then hopefully it kind of settles down, even if it's at a higher price, and then it won't be expensive. But people that are holding these NFTs, if it's going to cost like $50 in gas when the NFT itself is potentially, you know, $50 to $100, people aren't going to make that move. So they're just going to stand still on it, or they're going to just keep undercutting until somebody ends up buying it. So realize that the market is going to do interesting things. And at the same time as, okay, some of these collections might not move. At the same time, the value of some of them that end up keeping pace with this, that people want to, that announcements are coming out, people are bullish on. If there's a crypto, I don't care. I'm fine paying that much in gas because I'm going to get something like that. Realize that the prices that we will see are going to be crazy. And I have a tab re-highlighting how crazy that is, but I don't know where it is. So we'll get to that in a second. Now this is odd. This is coming from Circle, the creators of USDC. We are discontinuing USDC on the Tron blockchain in a phased transition. Effective immediately, we will no longer mint USDC on Tron. Transfers and redemptions of USDC on Tron will continue to operate normally through February 2025. Circle Mint customers may transfer USDC on Tron to other supported blockchains or redeem for fiat currency directly with Circle. Retail holders and non-Circle customers may use the hundreds of global services available, including retail exchanges, brokers, and on- and off-ramp providers to transfer USDC to other supported blockchains or redeem for fiat currency. Our decision to discontinue support for USDC on Tron is the result of an enterprise-wide approach that involved the business organization, compliance, and other functions across our company. We will continue to grow USDC and expand its reach to additional blockchains to deliver the wildest access, broader, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so all that you need to know here is the fact that they are mentioning compliance. That's the only thing that really stands out to me, is because there's there is some kind of bigger power here that's saying, hey, we need you to be compliant, and Tron isn't compliant for whatever reason, right? I don't know the technicalities of that. But anytime you see the word compliance within crypto, that's a looker. That's a looker. Wait, what? Are you telling me that things look even better than anticipated? Well, read this. Okay, bro, let's read it. BTC is only about 30% away from its all-time high. There is significant ETF news circulating across the internet. Altcoins are starting to show strength. The prospect of mass adoption of this technology is getting closer every day. Despite all this, the real herd seems to be nowhere in sight. Everything feels much quieter this time around. Do you have the same feeling? Think about all the people you know who FOMO bought at the top in 2021. I'd bet that most of them aren't interested. True. I love seeing this, and here's why. It suggests that this is just the beginning. It demonstrates that retail investors don't drive bull runs. They merely provide exit liquidity to early adopters. Sheesh. Regardless, the next few months will be fascinating. Indeed, 2024 as a whole promises to be crazy. This is our year. Hell yeah. Now, listen, I'm going to rip on Banana Mercy here for a second. I don't know if they watch the stream, but this guy's showing his Robbie link for points. And he says, wallet security is important. If you are still using MetaMask, this is a sign to install Robbie. Okay, for anybody that doesn't know, why is MetaMask not safe? Why would you go into Robbie? Listen, when you shell your points, provide value, explain why you're shilling your points other than just randomly saying for security reasons. That's not definitive, baby. Give me the alpha. Wow, Sappy Seals just went completely parabolic. The timeline was going nuts yesterday, trading up to 1.9 ETH floor, up 71% in the past 24 hours. And there started all these rumors about them being acquired, and that was the reason for the pump. And Wab here is saying, I think all these random accusations and claims are a result of extreme information asymmetry between the actual core SEAL community and outsiders. They all actually think we were just a meme NFT and have zero clue about what's going down this year. And I think that is a problem without the entire space, and why everybody is kind of within their own shell, which is fine, but there is going to be a lot of kind of things that start moving, and you're like, wait, hold on, why is that going? Wait, what's going on? And it's just, your interest in following all the collections isn't going to be there, but knowing that a lot of things are happening is kind of crazy. But also him highlighting, hearing rumors from multiple sources claiming that we have raised a seed round and are apparently being insider traded. These rumors are obviously fake. So these ended up hitting, I think, like about 2 ETH last night. Now they've kind of settled down a little bit because they were, they were kind of crazy at a point. But they do highlight a while ago, back in December, what their tokenomics look like. So Pixel has always been intended to be 100% distributed to the community with discretionary minting for economy stimulation. We have redesigned the economy under an improved model that uses a finite number of tokens rather than infinite, removing the need for additional minting. So they did 500 million, and it goes 100% to the community here. A full comprehensive breakdown of the described changes. For SEAL stakers, 390 million tokens reserved, 78%. Emissions will end March 31st. Of Q1 24. Holy sheesh. Outstanding token balances by this end date will be airdropped shortly thereafter. And so I guess everybody's buying these because of the token allocation. Any excess tokens as a result of unstaked seals will be absorbed in the ecosystem fund. And then the ecosystem fund is 22% of the token. So just kind of a quick breakdown there. It seems like the entire movement for Sappy Seals is due to the fact that there is a token coming. And then for owner distribution, there is 16 wallets with greater than 40, 26 with 21 to 40. And then there's also almost 3,000 that hold just one seal on that. The Pixel tokens, I guess, trading just around 10 cents right now. And then when this post was made, which was yesterday at 4 o'clock, seals were at 1.29 ETH. So they've been moving just a little bit from that. MetaMask seems safe. I am not sure what the hell he's talking about. It sounds like he's getting a kickback from the other wallet. Truly, that's what I'm saying. You got to provide that value or we're going to suss things out. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Ray Stinger, what's going on, baby? How are you? The thing about meme coins is that they have a short shelf life, and when they go down, you really have no one to blame but yourself. This cycle is quality oriented, in my opinion. Too many tired thought pieces on being long meme coins as an expression of anarcho capitalism. You are not I'm just, yeah, I can't talk. I can't talk. I don't know. I've always kind of like, so I was like, okay, I'm seeing these meme coins, yada, yada. Ended up going into one and being like, oh, this is kind of cool. Told a few people about it. Dev completely rugs. I'm like, okay, well, this is stupid. And I was like, all right, maybe that was just one thing. Let me try it. Go in another one. Complete failure, rug as well. I just don't touch that stuff. People make money on it. That's cool. But yeah, I vehemently agree that this cycle is quality driven, but there's, people that want to try to shoot their shot on some of these other things that are out there. Okay. So Fantasy is live on Blast L2 testnet. Places are limited. Grab a code and secure your slot for the most fun, rewarding fantasy gaming experience. So I'm trying to highlight some things on Blast just because I'm seeing it across my timeline. I'm sure a lot of you guys are probably wondering what's going on. This one today. Welcome to the Fantasy trading card game meets social finance. So what in the halibut is this? It looks like they have some different NFTs that look like they're graded PSA 10s. Build your influencer's deck. Create your fantasy roster by scouting and collecting crypto Twitter influencer cards. Gated. That's crazy. Ahem cheddar. Okay, listen, if we're buying influencer Twitter cards, okay, never mind. I'm out. I don't know why I highlighted that. Okay, another one here. Blast Penguins, long-awaited moment for our most devoted friends. The mint will be the first day Blast mainnet. Collection consists of 3,333 penguins. So I made a short the other day highlighting some of the different penguins within Web3. But unique digital collectibles living on the Blast blockchain. Your digital penguin can become the key to the entire Blast ecosystem. First ever NFT collection on Blast, except I don't know how that's going to be the case because it's not live yet from our understanding, but I digress. Future bonuses and perks can be unlocked by the community through holding, and Blast Penguins community gets only positive vibe, all because we are a big penguin family forever. Mint price is going to be determined. The roadmap. Community in Q4 2023. We develop the community and enter into important partnerships. Okay, that's suspect. Phase 2 in Q1, deploy Blast Penguins NFT, smart contracts with gas. Phase 3, deploy Blast Penguins NFT smart contract on Blast L2, build out the Penguin token, and then in Q2 of this year, Blast L2 airdrop. So I feel like everybody is just getting hyped up off these developer things, but I feel like there's nothing on that like stands out to me initially that I'm like, I'm hella bullish, right? Okay. Robbie here. Today, Immutable onboarded one of the largest hyper-casual gaming publishers in the world, Tap Nation Crypto. Web2 gaming giants are waking up to the fact that they can create better incentive-aligned economies with Web3 property rights, or just make more money. The inflection point is coming, okay? So Tap Nation's got 10,000 followers, mobile gaming publisher and developer, 1 billion downloads, 60 million monthly active users, and French tech. Okay, all I'm going to say with this is if Immutable doesn't have like bajillions of players on their network, it's Jover. They have like 200 plus games. They have unbelievable funding, and I never see anybody playing the IMX games. I get that there's a community out there. I played Gods Unchained for a bit. I was into Guild of Guardians before they kind of pivoted all that stuff. I'm interested in watching and seeing how it grows for sure, but sheesh, they seem to be having a bunch of things, but they're not getting like players to actually play those games. But I might be ignorant and unaware, so feel free to correct me if I am wrong. So I mentioned earlier about the ridiculousness of the gas fees, but also kind of, these NFT things also sometimes go with them. Bored Ape Yacht Club, 150 ETH at a point, just a reminder. And then Moonbirds here, they were at a price of 21 ETH. And that's with ETH way higher than it was today. So think about the insanity that could ensue, but obviously you're going to end up having to pay hella for gas, which is going to suck. This is a good lesson. Can't believe everything you see on the internet. Okay, truly. If you didn't know, didn't see, you probably did. You might have thought you were real. You might have gone out and bought something because you're an absolute fish. We're fishing in the river, baby. So somebody messaged one of the bigger people within the space, and then redesigned some screenshots to say, did you see our plans already have supporters like Lacaz? Wait for your plans. This is confidential. Yuga is buying Moonbirds and will drop a token like BAYC and ApeCoin. So this went all over the timeline because nobody uses their brain in Web3. True. And people actually went out and bought based off of this faked screenshot that a couple different people went out and tried to take credit for that specific screenshot. But then there was the, right here saying in the lab trying things, young dot gonna scheme some insider allegations. I don't know if this was the person that actually did it because I've seen some other people saying that it wasn't them, but guys, listen, don't be following random screenshots that are leaked saying something's gonna be coming on it. Put it on top of. There you go. So another highlight here from IMX. Let's see what the bullishness is all about. IMX is going to crush this cycle. 4.7 billion market cap, which is top 25 already. Okay, that's crazy. 7 years plus of building games and infrastructure. 150 plus games, and nobody's talking about them. With a $1 billion plus ecosystem fund. Blockchain gaming is the narrative this cycle. Here's 16 plus games in development in no particular order, and I'm an investor. So we have Illuvium again. Illuvium, we're waiting to see. I think it looks really good. Some of the games, I think it's going to be dependent on the person for if they're going to like it. In general, though, I do think that this looks like really, really clean. Pixelmon, this is still getting a lot of bids. I guess just because it's I don't know. They got acquired and people are bullish on this. Still waiting to see a little bit more. New Ganymede. This is from Matt's own company within there for the MetaKey. This is kind of looking like another MMORPG. Infinite Victory, which looks like a basketball game. This looks like kind of the street one. Bad Connection, I'll catch on YouTube. A lot of spicy meatballs here. Hell yeah, bro. You guys remember like the street games and the old sports ones back in the day? That kind of looks like that. Habbo Hotel, one of the very first online virtual communities. I remember playing this almost 2 decades ago. So I guess they're a part of Immutable as well. I feel like I brought this up, but I haven't seen like how it directly connects unless they're just trying to create interest again. Gods Unchained again, really good game. It's kind of a card game though, so I feel like everybody that gets into it, you're like, okay, do I want to go play Magic the Gathering? Do I want to play Parallel? Gods Unchained, etc., etc. Hearthstone. It just seems like a lot of options within that realm. Guild of Guardians, they did change up the builds a lot compared to what these initially look like. I've interviewed people from the team before, and then one of the guys that I thought was leading the entire thing got let go a while ago, and I was like, that doesn't seem like it makes sense because there was nothing that was necessarily wrong with that. He's been doing other things, so we'll see what comes of Guild of Guardians. Storm Warfare, a free-to-play trading card game. Okay, we got another one coming down. Not to rip on trading card games, just feels like there's a lot. There's the guy that I watched that streams League of Legends, and he was going on about how there was this new Korean card game that was coming out. You can DM him, and he'll send you decks, and I'm like, damn, Web3 card games, physical card games, the list goes on and on and on. Treeverse, I do kind of think is going to be interesting. It looks really, really good. Mobile based on this front, taking a little bit to get out there, but we've kind of seen within the entirety of Web3, a lot of things take some time to do that, but still interested to see. I've seen this on my timeline before for Capsule Heroes, a 3v3 brawler series with a bunch of game modes. It kind of reminds me of like Pokemon Unite, even though I know it's not necessarily that exactly, but just kind of have the vibe of it. And then Planet Quest, built by talent from Hollywood. Players have full ownership and control over the lore, long-term strategy surrounding the Planet Quest universe, and can vote on these decisions as a community. And then Embersor, this will be the last one, and then we'll go on to the next topic here. They sold land, they sold a whole bunch of different stuff, and I don't know. I feel like it's not talked about anymore. The amount of things that people that have come later into the space that probably missed the hyped up mints, the excitement, whether it's gas wars, things didn't go well, just yada, 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 I think is pretty outstanding. Good morning. Just found 4 pairs of the pants. Wish they were my size. Still had a cop though. So if you missed these, Adidas got into the space. They partnered up with Bored Ape, G Money, Pixel Vault, and I guess themselves in Adidas, and they launched these tracksuits, these different digital collectibles, and I guess people are already putting them into the secondhand shops because they don't want them. Mr. Captain McDonald. Banner, Futureverse games, worlds, and the open metaverse itself in the future will be made of metadata and rendered on the edge on any engine, platform, or device. Futureverse has been building the foundations for this. ASM 2.0, which is their AI protocol, Murmur Matrix, which I think is going to be about interoperability with different AI toolings, if I remember correctly, Universal Blueprint Framework, and Doc Papers soon. Always got to throw in a little bit of a shill for Futureverse at the end. Of course, we got a ton of videos around Futureverse and one of the main ecosystems that I am following out there. So again, to recap, Daniel Allegra is out as CEO at Yuga Labs after the Moonbirds and Proof acquisition. Was this the right time to bring that up because of that negativity surrounding that announcement? Was there something else that happened? Was this in the works for a while? I don't know. Love to know your thoughts, but you're going to have to tell me, I guess, on the next show, because that's going to be it for this edition. Again, if you're wanting to help support the stream in any way, there are Twitch subs, and on YouTube, we do have a membership for like $2.99 a month if you're interested. But with that said, I will be back tomorrow. There is 30 minutes max tonight, and I'll probably be uploading that on the channel. But otherwise, I appreciate you guys tuning in, and we will chat soon. Peace.